Happy Wednesday. It's another beautiful day here in Guelph, Ontario. Day 5 of Don't Take Anything Personally as we continue our journey of understanding fear, radical understanding, thinking about thinking. I reflect back on this course, and it's interesting because I think about, it's easy if you read a book once and it's got a central premise and, you read the phrase, don't take it personally, and, the thoughts sit with you and you think, yes, I agree with that. But then the next day goes and you're living your life, you're experiencing different things, and it's easy to forget what you've learned. But the power of doing something every day for, whether it's a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it really starts to sink in. And I was rereading the blurb that went along with today's version in the course, and it actually reminded me of the story of Icarus in Greek mythology. Now, the premise for today, day 5 within Don't Take It Personally, is that concept of don't go too high or don't go too low. Because we all have our own perceptions, we all have our own viewpoints towards the world. And on one hand, if someone says that you're beautiful and amazing and talented and great, listening to those words are just as damaging to our human psychology as you're no good, you're ugly, you're fat, and you're lazy. And so for the story of Icarus, his father, who cannot pronounce his name at the moment, they created wings to be able to escape. And the wings were made out of feathers and wax. And a lot of people interpret the story as, for hubris and humility, don't go too high. But the whole concept of that story really comes back to don't fly too high because the sun is going to melt the wax. But at the same time, don't go too low. Because if you go too low, you're going to dip into the ocean, your feathers are going to get wet, and you're not going to be able to fly. So it really brings this center point, this starting point really where authenticity can build because you're not concerned about what other people are going to say about you, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And I think a lot of that is forgotten, that it's important not to, pay too much attention to the internet trolls or the haters, for lack of a better word. But it's also important not to pay too much attention to those that are, in essence, blowing smoke up your butt. And I always remember my mentor, when I first got into the financial industry, he said something to me, and I'll always remember it. And this is really where I've taken the point for myself going forward, is he said, your father's going to love you because he has to. Your managers are going to pat you on the back and tell you how great you are because they profit from you, but I'm here to tell you the truth. And a lot of the times I didn't want to hear the truth, and a lot of the times in the moment I also struggled hearing the truth and fought the truth. But the reality is the truth ends up being the truth when it's coming from a place of love and compassion and empathy. And I really encourage you today is that take the opportunity to ensure that you're not going too low, that your feathers aren't getting wet, but at the same time you're not flying too high and risking burning up in the sun. Because I've been to both extremes and neither are pleasant. So I wish you a wonderful day. I love you a lot. I hope everyone is safe, and wash your hands.